A couple videos ago, I asked you whether I should get the C8 Corvette or if I should get the 2020 GR Supra, and I've got an announcement. This is my new car. Check it out. It's the brand new Corvette C7, and I got a slightly smaller one so I could save a little bit of money on it. I got it at a discount. It was about 25% off, and ooh, check out the ride in this bad boy. Yeah, ooh, check it out. Hello. So yes, I did actually get a car, so this is an announcement video, and I bet you can probably guess which one it is. It's the one at the top of the screen, and it's gonna be in that color too. I did get the 2020 GR Supra, and guess how much I paid for it? Do I look like the kind of guy who's gonna pay over MSRP? Definitely not. I know there's a lot of people that were trying to get these things early, try to get the launch edition. We're paying over MSRP, and like in my books, that's a no-no. So I definitely paid MSRP for this thing, and I am gonna take delivery in Los Angeles at a local dealer. Don't have to drive anywhere, don't have to fly anywhere. Local dealer, and I'm gonna be picking that up pretty soon in a couple of weeks. So there will be a taking delivery video, but you know what? It's gonna be different than all the other taking delivery videos, and it's gonna be a big surprise, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. Okay, so real quick, what is the price on the Supra? So the base one is $50,000. However, you really can't get a base one right now. No one's selling them. So mine is on a boat right now, the slow boat to the port of Los Angeles, apparently. So I'm getting the premium, the 3.0 premium. That starts at $54,000. And I'm gonna get some special paint, which is yellow. That's about 400 bucks. And driver assist, they all come with driver assist. That's 1,200 bucks, and that is essentially a lane departure thing. It's also got dynamic cruise control, so that it changes the distance between you and the car ahead of you. So if you want to set the cruise at 70 miles an hour, it's going to keep a constant distance, and a couple other things, 2 parking sensors and so forth. And that's pretty much it. So the total is going to come out to, oh, there's a delivery fee also of about 900 bucks. So the total is gonna come out to about $57,000. Now real quick, we know that the pricing on the C8 Corvette has been released. Yes, it starts at $60,000. I'm willing to bet there's only a handful of the entire country that are priced at $60,000, so that wasn't really a possibility. Yeah, you could place an order for them, but I wouldn't really want a base one anyhow, so the Z51 package is 5,000 bucks on the new C8. And if you want the 2LT, which is the, one of the higher levels, you got the 1LT, the 2LT, and the 3LT with different base levels of trim. The 2LT has the cooled seats, which is really nice, and a whole bunch of other features too. That starts at $67,000, and the Z51 package is another $5,000. That's probably what I would get. Maybe I could get away with just the 1LT with the Z51 package. Anyways, we're talking about a lot more money. People are gonna be paying, and people are paying, $75,000. That's pretty easy on that car. So there actually is a pretty big price difference if you compare the cars. The base Supra is definitely far more well equipped than the base C7. With the base Supra, you do get adjustable shocks. They are, magnetic shocks, and with the C7, you need to pay for that. That's extra. That's $1,800, and I mean, basically that's, hey, that's where we're at. And everybody and their grandmother is going to be driving around a C8 real soon. It is sort of, I think it's going to be like a YouTuber car. Maybe the Supra is too. So anyways, that's my choice, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. What were the other factors that were influencing me aside from price? Well, one of them is the weight. So Toyota says that it weighs 3,400 pounds, but actually we know that's not true, just like the power ratings. In fact, I have seen cars being weighed with a quarter tank of gas that are launch edition cars, which are fully loaded, and they're coming in at 3,300 pounds, pretty much right on the nose. That's a lot lighter than the C8 is going to be. So the C8 comes in at 3,360 dry weight. General Motors is kind of playing games with us a little bit. That's not really the standard way to, give a weight measurement for a car. It's the curb weight with all the fluids in there. So you got, oil, you've got your transmission fluid, you've got your differential fluid, you've got gas, and all that kind of stuff. And that adds a couple hundred pounds. So I think the C8, and if you get like a higher level edition, it's going to weigh more too. I think the C8 is going to come in at over 3,600 pounds. I think it's going to be, pretty common for this car, certainly mid 3,500. So the Supra is quite a bit lighter, and for me that's important. The wheelbase is shorter too. It's going to be a better handling car on a tighter road course, let's put it that way. On a longer road course, something like Laguna Seca, you know, Willow Springs, Big Willow, I'm sure the C8 is going to be faster, but personally, I just like lighter, more nimble, smaller cars. That's just my preference, and I'm pretty stoked. Now, there's another big factor too, and that is mods. With the C8, we don't quite know what's in store yet, and we do know it's going to be harder to tune the ECU because it is more locked down. It is encrypted. It's going to take a little while for people to get through that encryption, probably a couple months, maybe even as much as a year. On the Supra, however, there's already all kinds of mods, and Toyota has been actively promoting to the mod community. They've said it, Toyota has said it out loud, that they have made the car to be modded. I know Doug DeMuro thought this was a failing of the car, that you're going to be able to mod it, but I think Toyota is encouraging the aftermarket. Clearly they are. They had a measuring session, they've spoken about it extensively, so yes, the mods are already out, and 1 month in, there is a ton of amazing progress that's happened on this car already, at least with respect to the engine. So how much power does it make? How fast is it going? So the Racing Channel was one of the very first, if not the first, to take it down the quarter mile. They drove it directly from the dealer to the drag strip. I think they spent 9 hours getting there or something like that. And they put down some stock numbers, and those are 12.5 quarter mile. Trap speed was 109 miles per hour. That's very, very similar to what the magazines, all the popular publications were doing, Car and Driver, Motor Trend, and so forth. Very, very similar numbers to that. And we know, of course, that the stock horsepower, the baseline OEM horsepower, when you measure it in a dyno, comes in at around 335, 340, something like that. So it's already higher than what Toyota has said it's going to be. So the car is already got a little bit more juice than what we've been promised, which is pretty cool. So the next day after that Racing Channel went down the strip, the Real Performance, they're a tuning company and parts company, they put a downpipe on it and a tune, and they ran 11.48 at 118 miles an hour. So whoa, we've got a 1 second difference already by the second day. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff, I think. Clearly they're putting down a lot more horsepower, and in fact they had a dyno test a little bit later in their video. They were making 442 horsepower and 477 pounds-feet of torque to the wheels. This is really good. These are good numbers. Then we are just a month out, and TPG tuning. They don't exactly say what they put into the car, but I'm pretty sure that they pulled the exhaust, because if you look, I'll put this clip up on screen right now, you look, there's no exhaust in the car, so maybe they're just having a dump after the downpipe. I'm not exactly sure, but they ran 10.79 seconds at 128 miles an hour, a month after the car has been out. Clearly no one's really ripped apart the engine or done anything internal yet. I'm sure they haven't, at least not putting it on video and running it down a drag strip. So in the 10-second range a month out. That's really awesome. And in terms of dyno numbers, just a month out, just a couple days ago, I saw this on Facebook. The European Auto Group, 527 horsepower and 467 pounds-feet of torque. That's like, how much is that at the crank? That's well over 500 at the crank. This is with, I understand, a downpipe and a tune, and they've done something to the OEM turbo. It's not quite clear what they've done. They've upgraded the OEM turbo somehow. They sent it out, they got it back. So we're dealing again with stock internals, slightly upgraded turbo, and we're putting out over 500 horsepower to the wheel a month in. The prospects for this B58 engine are really, really good at this point. The car is highly tunable, and here's the thing that I think is really important. Through all of these early experiments and all these early videos, people are putting down a lot of power, and to date, no one has blown up the engine yet. I think that's pretty significant. That tells me that the internals of the engine are probably pretty strong, at least for these kind of horsepower levels that people are putting out right now. So a couple months ago, let's say a year ago, let's say, near the end of 2018, everybody on the videos was commenting how it's such a big fail. Oh my God, it only has 335 horsepower, it's $50,000. Complete fail, just it's garbage, it's garbage. And here we are a month after the car has been released, and it's putting down like ridiculous numbers. I don't know what the 0 to 60 numbers are going to be with all this extra horsepower. Clearly you need more traction than you're going to get on the street tires. So yeah, big fail, guys. And if you look at all the comments on the videos too, people are really getting behind this car. People are really excited about it. I think all of the old school fanboys have been converted, or certainly not all of them. I still see some salty comments, like there's some really clever comments out there, like, "Oh, nice BMW." Like, you guys are so clever. I hope you didn't pay a speechwriter for that, because not that good. And everybody was claiming that Toyota has been spending way too long to develop the car. So remember, they formed their partnership back in 2012 and started working on this, and now in 2019, the car finally gets released. So we're talking about a 7-year development cycle. And remember, the B58 engine has been around since 2015, and there's been, Tada-san, who is the chief engineer of the car, has stated publicly, and this has been in all kinds of videos, including my friend Albin's video, that Toyota had complete access to the engine. Clearly, they've been able to take it apart, do all kinds of stress testing, make sure the components are up to the spec that they want. And I think that extends clearly to the crankshaft, the piston rods, and the block. Because if you look at Papadakis Racing, the teardown that they just did a couple days ago, really excellent video. I encourage you to check it out. They do a complete teardown on the B58. You can sort of see the guts of the engine, and it's a great video, and you can see how well made this engine is. Now, who is Papadakis? I can't even say this word right. Who is Papadakis Racing? So they are the most winning team in Formula Drift so far. Frederick Osbo is the driver. These guys have been developing stuff for drifting for about 14, 15 years right now. So I'd say they're pretty qualified. I'd say that he definitely knows what he's talking about. As for the long-term prospect of the car, can it make 1,000 horsepower? That was what the stated goal in his teardown video was. They want to make 1,000 horsepower in it. Is it going to hit the 2JZ in terms of reliability and 1,000 horsepower? Only time will tell if it's really, at the bottom end, is really as strong as the 2JZ is. We're going to have to wait a couple years for that to see what the true reliability is. That's a pretty high horsepower number, but that's what they're aiming for. I think certainly the block can handle it. Certainly the crankshaft can handle it. That's my guess right now. And we're just going to have to wait and see about the rest of it. The connecting rods haven't seemed to have blown up yet with all these tunes. So that, to me, is a pretty strong sign. So, hey, we're just going to have to wait and see. But I think the early prospects for this car are looking pretty good from a tuning perspective. So who's got one so far on YouTube? Yes, this is going to become a YouTuber car. So the Stradman has got one. He said that he's going to drop a 2JZ in it. Super entertaining. TJ Hunt got one a couple of weeks ago too. He got a launch edition. He's already started to modify that. He put an exhaust on it a couple days ago. We've got That Racing Channel, obviously, who I referenced earlier. You can tell what they're going to do with it. They're going to build it up too for a straight line. And Papadakis Racing, and there's probably some others too. So let me know down below who else has got a Supra, and who else is going to make this the YouTuber car. I'm so glad to be back. I was up north for the last week. I was at Laguna Seca, and I was very, very fortunate to work with Fiat Chrysler to be able to essentially borrow a car. If you've been watching my Instagram, you know what that car is, but I'm gonna have a review of that car coming up really soon. It is bright orange, and it is a ton of fun. So yeah, we're getting into some car reviews here. And of course, I have to thank my Patreons who get early access to my videos. Their names are up on screen right now. We've got Furious Grummel, Real Six, Squirrel Pope, Marlboro Ferrari, and a whole bunch of others. They're right up here. I really, really appreciate the support. I'm gonna be coming out with more videos soon. And yes, there's gonna be a special delivery Supra video coming out soon. My name is Eric. I will see you in the next video. Glad to be back.